I want to take you back to the beginning of this course. When we started, many of our reactions felt automatic, almost inevitable. But look at everything you've learned. Your adaptations, your brain, your nervous system, your protective parts, awareness, attention, safety, discernment. None of those lessons were the destination. They were just preparing you for this moment, because understanding isn't our final goal. Remember Viktor Frankl's words, between stimulus and response, there is a space. We've spent this entire course strengthening that space. Not because space is the goal, the space exists so you can choose. Choose how to respond, choose where to place your attention, choose which story deserves more investigation, choose whether to shoot another second arrow, choose whether to hand the keys to a frightened roommate. That's why the space matters. So what guides those choices? Values become your compass. When life gets complicated and your emotions are loud, when your inner roommates all have their opinions and they're all firing off trying to get your attention, what helps you decide? The answer is your values. Not your mood, not your fear, not your history, your values. The kind of person you want to become, the kind of parent, friend, partner, leader, human being you want to be. Values don't eliminate emotions. They give us a direction while we're feeling them. I've noticed something. Most of us don't regret having emotions. We regret what we did while we were overwhelmed by the emotions. The text we sent, the words we said, the opportunity we avoided, the boundary we never expressed. Discernment gives us another option, not what do I feel like doing, but what response aligns with the person I want to be. And sometimes those two things don't match. Living your values can sometimes feel very uncomfortable, and many of us have never even taken time to explore what our values are. Living by your values won't always be comfortable. Sometimes your nervous system will still be anxious. Sometimes your fear will still be loud. Sometimes your inner perfectionist will protest. But discomfort isn't always danger. We've learned that already. The question becomes, can I stay connected to who I want to be, even while part of me feels afraid? And that takes courage. And courage is very different from certainty. Many of us have been waiting to feel completely certain before making a decision, having the conversation, setting the boundary, trying something new. But certainty isn't always available. Discernment often says, I don't know everything, but I know enough to take the next step. And that's a much more sustainable way to live because we can't always have certainty. Intentional living is not one big decision. It's thousands of small ones. Choosing to pause and breathe before replying, choosing curiosity before certainty, choosing compassion before shame, choosing to return after getting lost, and choosing your values over your automatic patterns. One choice after another is how we change our lives. If you remember one thing today, you don't have to let your past make every decision for your future. You have a brain that protects, a nervous system that adapts, protective parts that care deeply, emotions that carry wisdom. And you have something else too, the ability to choose in conscious awareness. Not necessarily perfectly every time, but more often today than yesterday. And every intentional choice is another step toward becoming the person you've been rediscovering. Remember, you can't always choose your first reaction. That first reaction is usually based on the past, but with practice, you can increasingly choose your response. And over time, those responses shape your future.